Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here, coming at you with another game of StarCraft, and this is Light versus JY. That you saw on the JY was on the left side of your screen, Light on the right, and we're getting into game number 5 set of CJ versus MBC Game Hero. And as you can see right there, because this is 5 set on your screen. And okay, his name is Hoya, apparently, in this game. Should I call him JY or should I call him Hoya? I'm not sure. I'll call him JY, I guess. His name is Jangyuk, by the way. It's where he gets JY from. It's kind of an abbreviation of his, like, the English spelling of his name. And I always call him JY. It's a little bit awkward to say, but he's going up against Light here. I did look up JY at the end of the last game. I was like, all right, who's JY? I'm not sure. I looked him up. He is one of those players. He got into the WCG Korea and was knocked out pretty quickly in I think 2005. He got into a couple OSLs in 2006 and was knocked out in like the first rounds. He got into the MSL dual tournament and was knocked out. So he's like, he's the top 64 player basically, but not anyone that's really ever got too far. Now that top 64 players can often be crucial players in your pro league team. So here he is, and this is kind of when he was at his highest, I guess, because he did get into a couple OSLs in 2006. So maybe this would be the point where JY was the strongest. He's going up against Light, and Light we know as a very, very strong Terran player, obviously, but this is from 2006, and Light probably reached his peak in like 20, well, I guess he reached his peak maybe recently, but in 2010 he was really, really solid. 2006 he was relatively new. In fact, he actually won the 2006 on GameNet Super Rookie Tournament. It's the only title that Light has in his career, was the Rookie Tournament from 2006, and so he was a very, very strong player, but he's still relatively new in 2006. So we'll see how it goes. By the way, the 2006 Rookie of the Year for this Pro League season for 2006 was Jadong, interestingly enough. So that's kind of cool to see that he was already getting some respect in 2006, but it was still a year before he really started his reign, his ascent towards dominance. Anyway, but yeah, this is a must-win situation for JY. Again, if Light wins, then he's going to clinch the series, and MBC Game will go on to the finals against SK Telecom. A very strong team, historically. And, so yeah, a lot on the line here for JY. And we'll see what we can pull off here, but I feel like this is probably a Light-favored matchup, but who knows? Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? Who knows? We've seen some upsets here before. Interesting, getting a macro hatch in his base in the corner there, and the SCV is gonna not see it yet. Wait, this SCV's like, what's going on? Where's the something I need to see? He doesn't see it yet. He's probably gonna scout it. And I mean, the thing is like, seeing the hatchery is important. Is he gonna chase he chased the SCV up into, I think the SCV got vision of that hatchery. I think he must have. But also knowing that where that hatchery is could come into play later on, because of knowing where to scan to see what the spire timing is kind of an important thing later on, I guess. But we'll see here. Anyway, I think he must know about the hatchery though. We're seeing Light play a little bit defensively. He's got 2 barracks. If I remember correctly, I remember seeing that correctly. And then he's just kind of defending his ramp here. But he could be a little, I mean, he's going to get offensive in a minute. He's going to go on the offense, I should say. Not that he's going to get offensive. It has a little bit of a different implication. But yeah, Light's going to start telling dirty jokes and making rude insults in just a moment here with his Marines. No, he's going to push out here. He's got the academy. He's just going to get a couple of medics. He may wait for the fire bats as well and push out. And this is going to be pretty strong because, okay, well now he definitely sees the hatchery. I think I thought he would have seen it before, but maybe not. I don't know. Either way, he knows what's going on. He saw the gas coming in as well, so this push is going to be pretty strong. This is pretty cool. I like this. one medic and one fire bat makes it so that you can kind of have a little bit of the tech, all the tech that you want. You can push out a little bit earlier, one barrack cycle earlier than you would have been able to. Now pushing across the map here, a handful of lings to defend, and this is going to force JY to make a bunch of sunkens more than likely. It's kind of going to be kind of cool. He's going to have a lot of production because he's going to have that third hatchery. So, you know, losing some drones here isn't as necessarily as big of a deal because he can kind of reproduce them a little bit faster. But he is under some pressure here, ladies and gentlemen. And his choke point, his base, I should say, is a little bit wide open. He doesn't really have a choke point. Interestingly enough, Light has actually sent his extra Marine and Firebat to the front, and he's rallied Marines onto the ramp, which is a little bit dangerous. You can get caught with a little bit of a run-by of lings if you don't have, you know, Firebats on the ramp, basically, or in your choke point, wherever it may be. But in this case, I think he knows, okay, well, that third hatch is kind of greedy. I know he's probably not going to have a ton of lings, and I can kind of get away with this. So he sent the extra Firebat in here. He's kind of he just stimmed for no particular reason, it looks like. Maybe he was about to attack and instead he decided not to. Maybe it was just to make that sound that he just really just enjoys hearing that sound. I don't know. Maybe it was to spook the Zerg player into thinking he was about to attack, overcommitting to Zerglings or something like that. Maybe he accidentally hit his keyboard. I don't know. But he's expanding off of this actually, and let's see, is he gonna put that spire in the up here? A Hydralisk Den, not a spire. Interest. A Hydralisk Den and a spire. Okay. Well, this is interesting. And I mean, this is the idea here is that if he scans, he'll see one of the techs and he'll only know about that tech. He's probably I think he's only gonna have, well, actually, let's see. He's got, I don't know if he has got a second scan right now. The Academy's been up for a while. I didn't see when he made the Comsat station. The observers are going to go check that spot pretty occasionally to see if they can catch the timing of when he scans it, basically. So he can see if he scans it. But there's a spire in the main and the Hydralisk Den up at the top. Now, because he does know that hatchery's there, he knows that's a potential spot where he might want to scan. But a single scan will not be able to see both the den and the spire. That's the crucial thing here. So he won't know about some of the tech. He's getting an engineering bay, which handily enough works well against both. Turrets are fantastic against lurkers and against mulisks. Well, I should say turrets are necessary against lurkers, not fantastic against them. Turrets and bunkers are fantastic against lurkers. But in the meantime, he has gotten his expansion up. He's getting a factory up as well, starting to get that tech going. He just went in there, spooked him into making 5 sunken colonies. 5 sunken colonies. That's basically like killing 5 drones, and all the money for all that as well is a lot of money spent by the Zerg. So pretty good gambit there. Mulisks are out now though, and he's gonna have the lurkers. He's probably, I imagine he's probably made the lurker aspect upgrade along with the probably even before the mulisks were starting to come out. So he's gonna have the lurker follow-up really quickly. Either that, or he made, I don't know what his gas would have been, but he may not have had enough gas for that, in which case he started the lurker about now. He probably made his round of mulisks and then started the lurker upgrade, in which case he didn't need to build the den earlier, so that's why I'm thinking he probably started the upgrade pretty early on. So he's gonna have lurkers very quickly. Evo chamber and another hatchery going down in that corner there. It's just a nice cute little corner of tech and macro going on, and he's getting a third base up in the corner as well. So JY is being kind of greedy here, but he's also getting the resources with which to get away with it. You know, Light does have an expansion up. He's going to start powering up his buildings and stuff here pretty quick. Oh, Light going in. I'm sorry, JY going in. He dodges right between the 2 sets of units. He's going to get an SCV kill. He might be able to slow down the Stargate as well. Nicely done. Sorry, Starport rather. And he's going to get a couple more SCV kills and just go ahead and head out. Takes a fair amount of turret fire, but not too much. And I think it's definitely well worth the distraction and well worth the 2 or 3 SCVs he got there. I think he killed 1 or 2 Marines as well, perhaps. The lurkers are morphing now. So here's the thing. These mulisks have done their job, and I'm a little bit surprised, actually. We didn't see Light. Well, never mind. He did put a lot of pressure on. I was going to say, why didn't he put more pressure on? But he did. He forced a lot of sunken colonies. I guess it's just, it feels like the mulisks just didn't do a lot, and like Light could have been doing something else with his forces, but in actuality he kind of needed to keep them at home just in case of those mutalisks. So yeah, now basically he's gonna be able to put lurkers. Oh, he actually didn't even morph the lurkers up by his third, so it was a little bit dangerous, and there was again more of an opportunity for Light to move out, but he may have scanned the den at this point, and he knows there could be lurkers on the map, so he's being just super cautious and just waiting for science vessels before he moves out, getting some tanks in the mix as well. Tanks and science vessels, kind of the typical response to lurkers back in the day. You know, you get the science vessels to spot them, you get the tanks to kill them from afar. You know, obviously in 2021 you'd be more likely to see, or even in 2007, I guess, SK Terran. I forgot what it was named after. I forgot who SK was. Silent Killer or something like that, maybe? I don't know. Maybe I'm just making that up. I'll look it up on the side. But either way, anyways, SK Terran making a lot of vessels, a lot of science vessels to irradiate everything rather than going for an attack. And he's actually going for an attack right now. Looks like one of the Sunkens was killed. Did JY kill his own Sunken colony there to let out some units that were trapped on the side of the lair? It looks like he did. Oh no. So now he's got one Sunken less. The tanks are gonna help out with that effort. He says, you know what? Here, let me give you an assist. You're trying to clear out your base, make it nice and clean. I'll bet that Sunken colony does not inspire joy. I'm gonna go ahead and destroy it for you to get it out of the way. And he's got a nice little line here, a line of units. He knows that he's going to want to try and get us around, so he's lining up his units so that there's not really an easy way to get us around. He's kind of backed up against the edge of that platform as well. So the tanks are doing the shelling. The Marines and the Firebats and the medics are just here to protect that tank, and here comes the huge attack from JY. He's got a ton of stuff, and he is going to be able to get us around on a lot of the units. Some of the lurkers not able to get in position to burrow just right away, but it doesn't even matter. Half of his lurkers were all that was needed, with the mutas and the lings coming in from all different angles, and he gets absolutely obliterated, but he sends the rest of his forces up to the top left. If he can kill off that third base, that'll be huge, and it may be what Light needs to get, I'd say, back into this game. Maybe I shouldn't say that as if he's behind, but he just lost a lot of stuff, and JY has a huge tactical advantage in this game right now. He's got so many forces, and Light just doesn't have almost anything at all, and it looks like he's just not going to be able to get this hatchery, though. Unfortunately, a couple Marines blundering into the Sunken fire there. He could have kept more alive. He could have been killing drones with 4 or 5 Marines instead of 1 right now, and instead he's not going to get the kill on that top left base that he really needed to kind of equalize for losing his whole army in spectacular fashion. And yeah, so now he's even going to come back up there and clear it up. So maybe a handful of drones loft in the top left, and the base lives. I think he must have killed some lurkers up there as well. I'm not sure. Maybe he brought the lurkers down. But either way, the top left base survives, and JY has this huge army still. And or it's decent arm. Well, it's between decent and huge. It's not quite. Oh, running with these mutos, taking some free damage there. He gets them out, but you kind of want to keep those mutos if you can, right? No reason to throw them away if you don't have to. Morphing into a hive now as well. And I like kind of, he's got a couple extra colonies up just in case of a secondary push, because that's always what's going to happen. The Terran is going to regroup and push out with another group, and you got to defend that as well. And you got to decide, am I going to defend it with getting tech fast so I can get defilers out, or am I going to defend that with getting a bunch of stuff, going for a surround? Nice little drop has been dispatched by our Terran player. Light, he's going to go around the top of the map, so it's not going to get spotted, and ideally not going to get scourged. He knows there's mutas on the map, and if the mutas caught it, the mutas even could just kill off that dropship very quickly. So he really wants to try and kill off that top left third base, and here he comes in. There are lurkers near the ramp that may have just spotted this drop, and he's actually going to drop within range of the spines, not knowing they're there. He picks up some of his units back again and drops them back out again. A little bit of a misstep where he could have just moved his units to the left instead of picking them up, moving to the left, and then dropping them out again. He's going to come in here with his force and try and take out... He's actually targeting the gas, trying to stay safe, but he is taking Sunken fire here. He's got to make a decision. He's going to go in, or is he going to stay safe? It looked like he did go in, but there's a little bit of a skirmish brewing in the middle. So he's gone in here, and he's actually just targeted the Sunken colony directly, but JY has the forces here to back up that Sunk, and it's going to be defended. So Light really a second time needed to do something in that top left base and doesn't. Oh, the vessel does survive. I thought it was going to die there. It kind of stopped moving. JY with a significant force in the middle here. Needs to make sure that he engages in the right spot, though. Another command center going down for Light, but there's a greater spire. There's a greater spire that's just finished, and we'll see if Guardians can work for the very first time ever in a matchup. But I don't know if Guardians are exactly what he needs right here. I think Defilers. I think he has the Defiler mount as well, right? So, but he has those Mutalists out, so he might as well make some Guardians, right? And they're just going to get irradiated and killed probably. But oh no, he's blundered into some Lurker fire. Oh no. I don't know if he realized the Lurkers were there or if he just, I'm not sure what was going on there, but he just, a little bit of a foolhardy attack by Light. Loses a lot of Marines, and those Marines are not going to protect his vessels anymore either. And now the vessels are not going to protect the tanks from the Guardians. A single irradiate is able to be put out there. There is a reinforcement squad coming out, but I don't know if that's enough, especially if some other forces are combined with those Guardians. If you get some Lings and Lurkers in there, or even just Lings, he'll be able to punish those Marines and those tanks. And here he comes in. Yeah, there's some extra Lurkers, but he doesn't even need them. Look at that. The Guardian's just too strong. He's trying to push Lurkers in here. Some of them dying unnecessarily, just closing the distance. He needed the Lings to go in first, but the Lings are going to come in second instead, and they'll be the ones to do the damage instead of soak the damage. And very nice little attack here, but you know, it could have been executed better, but doesn't even matter because he's actually so far ahead at this point. Guardians raining down spores? What I think, do they output spores? I don't remember what the name is for the kind of attack that Guardians put out, but whatever they're putting out, they're putting them out, and they're putting them down onto those Marines. So there's just not much of a force left there. Light rallying forward, another small force here. A lot of tanks in this one, but just a very paltry infantry army going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Just a handful of Marines, a couple medics and what have you. He's pumping out of 5 barracks. It looks like he might be building a 6th barracks as well. Did he get that 3rd base up and running is a question here. It looks like those Guardians are finally going to go down, but now there's Defilers out, or rather this Dark Swarm is out. Nice Swarm on the bridge as well. He's going to get an irradiate down on that Defiler, but the damage has been done, and the damage being the Swarm, which actually enabled the actual damage to his units. And another force gets wiped out. Light just keeps moving out on the map and keeps getting wiped out over and over and over again. And in the meantime, JY has taken a 4th base. Has Light secured that 3rd? I don't see it on the minimap, but it might be hidden amidst the pixels. It might be wearing pixel camouflage somewhere. I guess it's not usually what they mean when they refer to digital camo, is it? But yeah, this is just not a good situation for Light, especially if he doesn't have that 3rd base up somewhere. And maybe it's in the bottom right, actually. It's hard to tell. They're showing us some upgrades, but we can't read those either. Sorry about the terrible. These are the only VODs available for this that I'm aware of, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize, but hopefully you guys can at least make out kind of what's going on here. And what's going on is JY is actually pushing into Light's expansion, but Light has gone into his main with a group of Marines and is taking out drones here. These Lurkers are going to be able to clean this up and defend those Marines at some point, but he's lost a few drones, but crucially not like a ton of drones were taken out, and also not any tech buildings taken out. It looks like there's one building killed in his main. I don't know what that was actually. Maybe it was just a Queen's Nest, but the Spire is still there. The Hydra's Den is up north, so that's still there. Was it a Defiler? Oh, did he lose the Defiler mound? No, there's the Defiler mound in the natural. So it looks like nothing important was really killed off. If it was the Queen's Nest, then that's really not of much use anyway. Not a big deal. So yeah, Light just he keeps striking out and striking out. I meant striking out in terms of like setting out on a quest with these groups of units, but instead I accidentally made the double meaning of him striking out and not accomplishing anything. But here he is coming with a squad into the oh, this isn't even the natural, this is the extra natural up at the top right. This is his 5th base. This is JY's 5th. So if he takes that out, he'll still be on 4 bases and still be in good shape, but it looks like he's not going to be able to take it. Actually, he's taking out, he's doing some nice micro here against these Lurkers, but now some Lings joining in. Not gonna be enough. Not gonna be enough. Everything's gonna get cleaned up. Here's Light striking off into the map with another group of tanks and marines and a vessel. He just keeps sending wave after wave after wave, but you know, JY is just playing tower defense, and he's like, this is the easy mode. I paid to win, and I got all the power-ups. I can defend all of these waves over and over again very, very easily. I shouldn't say easily, actually. He's taken some damage here and there. Some of the drops have been pretty close to doing significant damage, but it's just been a flesh wounds for the most part. And here, Light is pushing in again, and you know, if he doesn't stop him from getting a 5th base up and running, then it's just going to be over. And this is the push to stop him from stopping him. Pushing him with some lurkers. There's the Dark Swarm. If he can get another one down on top of the middle of those units, it'd be really great. I don't think he's gonna be able to push in all the way on top of those tanks, though, it looks like. Not quite getting close enough, unless there's another Defiler coming in from behind. No, it's not. A lot of Radiants going down. This could be the end of that 5th base, actually. It looks like Lings came in and attacked that 3rd base, but it's gonna get cleaned up eventually, but it did some significant damage, and he's having to run the drones away. The tanks are gonna take out that hatchery. Finally a success story for Light, but as that is happening, lurkers are being morphed in his 3rd. Ready to burrow and take out some units, but he actually is going to get these marines back. And when you've got marines on top of the eggs, they're not going to kill the eggs, but they're going to kill the lurkers as soon as they morph. Although that one on the bottom might be able to get down underground before it's killed off. He actually even kills the egg. Just as I said that, I was proven wrong. He actually killed off the egg with the rapid fire there of the marines. So is this the comeback for Light? He's taken out the 5th. He's defended his 3rd. He's irradiating stuff. He's trying to get his count up. And now some units blundering into marine fire without burrowing, without attacking. Oh no, a huge misplay! A huge misplay by JY, losing like 20 supply of units, a bunch of gas tech units as well for absolutely nothing, running straight through his army on move command instead of attack move. And not noticing it, not burrowing his lurkers at all. He's getting erasered on the side as well. Ladies and gentlemen, is Light gonna pull it off here? If he wins this game, the series has been won for MBC Game Hero, and the eraser taking out tons of drones. Look at just the puddles of blood in that supply line. He has managed to get a swarm down near those tanks. Can he actually put enough units underneath that swarm to actually do any good? There's no lurkers left. Dude, he's just running around Lings, which are getting splash damage on them. And he does get a swarm down on top of those tanks. A little bit unnecessary. But oh, it looks like even more drones died in the 3rd up there as well. This might be the comeback for Light, ladies and gentlemen. This actually, it's not a comeback for Light. This is a throw for JY, I think. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Light pushing in and taking out that 5th base was a pretty big maneuver. And now things are just kind of spiraling out of JY's control, I feel. He's just getting a lot of irradiates down on his units. He's losing stuff left and right. He's lost like 20 or 30 drones in the last couple minutes. Huge loss to his economy. Losing the base as well means he's not going to be able to rebuild that very easily. He does have a bunch of hatcheries. He's got like 4 or 5 hatcheries just in his main and natural area. So he's going to maybe be able to replace it if he has the money for it, but it's hard to say. So there's Light's base. Does he have a bunch of SCVs just lying there? I think he does have some SCVs that are a little bit idle there, unfortunately. But we just saw a transfer in there, which means the Light is actually mined out in his main and possibly his natural. So Light actually kind of needs to make sure he gets a 4th base pretty soon, or he's going to have that boomerang come back around and hit him in the back of the head. This force is going to get cleaned up. It looks like he never reinforced it. Maybe because he got mined out, so he didn't have the money to keep production up on all of his buildings back there. Nice little squad here protecting against a new production of the 5th. And, oh, drones, what are you doing, drones? Oh, no. JY, what are you doing? There's actually not enough marines there. If they'd stemmed, they would have killed all those drones, but he didn't actually kill all of them, but he killed several drones more. JY once again moving units through marine fire. Okay, well, there's a queen's nest up now because there is actually a queen in play. Curious to see what that's about. Maybe for ensnare? It's a little bit late to be trying to go for a broodling play. And it's only the one lurker there, and he's not far enough ahead for that. Oh, he's able to take out one more vessel. And actually, Light has not been keeping up his vessel production and protecting him super well, so he's actually down to only a couple vessels right now. So it's the one thing that JY has going for him, is that Light has not been able to willy-nilly irradiate all over the map at once. And oh wow, this is how poor Light is. He's actually floated his second command center over to, where is it floated to actually? The bottom? Middle? Not sure where it is. Where did this command center go? Is that his command center in the bottom? Did he already float it long ago? I'm not sure exactly what happened there. In any case, oh, here comes the counter swoop though. JY getting into that third base, getting lurkers down in Dark Swarms, and Light is forced to evacuate. Ladies and gentlemen, Light is not mining right now. Light has 0 income at this moment. He is not mining because he had in fact mined out his natural, and now coming to this third base with a nice little squad of units, planting down some swarms, and Light just doesn't quite have the critical mass of vessels to really kill everything. He's close to it though because there's not a lot of units there. But he's now good. Okay, I'm sorry. This is the 4th. So this is where his natural went. I was wrong. I was hard to see the 4th down here on the minimap. My apologies. But it turns out there is a 4th down here. So that is where Light went. And he's now running his SCVs through lurker fire though, losing some of them, not all of them though. If he can defend this and steer up, oh, nice. Nice move to put that lurker on top of the ridge there. And medics healing up some SCVs that took a couple spines on the way through, and they're showing Light's barracks right now. Look at that, not a single one lit up other than the one in the bottom right. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse, ladies and gentlemen, in those barracks. A little bit of a late Christmas reference, I guess, but it's still kind of in the brain. But anyways, so Light really needs to clean this up. Yeah, okay, so now my earlier prediction is right. He actually eats a lurker in order to what? To plague? In order to put a swarm down for that one lurker to disrupt the mining again. So Light is now actually not mining. I thought before that he wasn't, but he had actually floated his natural to that extra big. What is it? Oh, okay, it was irradiated. That's why I was like, why is he sending SCVs into the lurker fire? Because it had been irradiated, it was going to die imminently, so I knew it was going to die before got enough spines off to kill much. But yeah, Light is still in danger. He's now mining at that third base. He's floated his main command center now out to try and find a spot for that to get some mining done. So it's desperate measures for Light here, ladies and gentlemen, which means he actually doesn't have scanners. Light doesn't have scanners right now. He's floated both his main and his natural out. I don't think he has a scanner at the third. He may have one at the 4th. I don't recall. There's none at the third though. He's got vessels. But at that moment, it looked like there wasn't any vessels in that spot. So, you know, the vessels, of course, are going to get him detection, but not having any scanners could be a problem in certain instances. Even when you have vessels, you sometimes need to get a scan off to kind of take out the lurkers or whatever. All right, so the lurkers now pushed in with some swarm into that third base again, and he's getting pushed back farther and farther. Dark swarms are pretty strong, ladies and gentlemen, and they forced him out of his third. I'm not sure where his main has been floated off to, but now he's trying to push in here. A swarm on the ramp. There's fire bats here and tanks, so I don't think the swarm's going to be quite enough to stop him from pushing through. But apparently it is actually. No, and he didn't just decide to run those fire bats in there against the lurkers, I think, that are underneath the swarm. Yeah, so he doesn't have any scanners at all right now because we're seeing that 4th now. Saturated fully with a lot of SCVs, but it's his only mining place at the moment. If he can get some more units in here, if he can put some in, sorry, if he can push in with lurkers into that spot, and stop mining there, then I think it's going to be curtains for Light. Here he goes, and he's trying to do exactly just that. There's a handful of Marines here trying to defend, and the Zerglings are coming in and doing a lot of damage, actually, pushing in farther for the lurkers. And, oh, he's got lurkers burrowed in a nice spot where they can actually attack the ramp if they want. The FCVs are trying to run, and this is a suicidal retreat through the lurker fire. And he loses every single SCV. Save a few, and oh, look at this. This is gonna be the icing on the cake, ladies and gentlemen. The Queen come in here to infest the burning command center floating above. And is it low enough? Please tell me it's low enough for the infest. Yes, it is. Ha ha ha! The infestation. Kudos to Light for letting it happen before leaving the game to give the fans a little bit of service there. JY, who has not found any success in the individual tournaments, taking some nice win there for his team. And, you know, the CJ team looking not super happy. Wait, was that an MBC win? There wasn't, right? No, yeah. So I was just interpreting the players' reactions a little bit wrong. The CJ team looked sad almost there. But they actually had won the game. So they're still worried because they're still one win away from losing, or one loss away from losing, rather. There's 2 potential games left, so there's still a lot on the line. But surprised they're not more excited for JY to take a game there for the team. Well done on his part. Nicely played. He almost threw it. He tried really hard to throw that game. Running tons of units through Light's forces and just having them die for no reason. A bunch of expensive gas units, and then later on a bunch of drones. But then, crucially, he just said, all right, well, at this moment, when Light has mined out his main and his natural, and he's just trying to take a 4th, that was when he decided to push into that 3rd with just a little bit of forces. That's all he really needed, just a few lurkers and some Dark Swarm, and he was able to take out that 3rd and keep that push ongoing. And Light just didn't have the economy to keep up the production to stop it from happening. So, and JY was able to kind of recover on the map as well. So, very well played. Very, very well played. Kudos to JY. The next game is going to be another 2v2. In the best of 7s back in the old days, they would have 1v1, 1v1, 2v2, 1v1, 1v1, 2v2, and then the ace match, if it went to it, if it was a tie at 3-3, would be a one final 1v1 game. So we're going to have, and it's not the same, can't be the same players. It's kind of cool because then you have, because you have 2 2v2s and 4 1v1s, you actually have to field 8 players. You have to field 8 players in these matches. So it's really, really stretching the benches of these teams, and that may be why we're seeing JY being put out for CJ Entus, because they already had put out all of their players. You know, Savior, Much, Oversky, Zealous, Iris. They're just left with JY, and it's going to be Mingu and Rage. 2 really old school players, or older school players, is coming out for CJ as the 2v2 team against the Zerg and Sea Shield for MBC Game Hero. And so that's going to be coming up before too long. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, though, ladies and gentlemen. MBC Game Hero still 1 game away from taking the series. It's going to be up to the Zerg and Sea to try and clinch it, or it'll go to an ace match, which would be pretty exciting. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. GG.